Hello and welcome to today's video. As you can see by the title, this is going to be a short little video just to get the thoughts going. Who knows, it could be a longer video depending on how much I ramble. Is Xiaohu the greatest Chinese player of all time? Is he the Chinese GOAT? Is he not yet, but is he... If he wins Worlds this weekend, is he the GOAT of Chinese League of Legends? Obviously, I'm not counting Korean imports. Like I said, this is Chinese. So we have Xiaohu, Uzi, Ming, Mako, Clear Love up here. If the internet wasn't so sus for me right now, I would have looked at my Hall of Fame points. And I think these are the highest Chinese players right now, active or inactive, on that list. So that's why they're up here. But this is a video to kind of get the thoughts going. Like, where does Xiaohu rank all time? You could even argue, not argue, but wonder where does he rank all time in his role in all regions ever in LOL Esports history? If he wins, where does he rank? And not even mid lane, but as a player in general, because he has completed a feat no one else has, and he's won MSI in 2 different roles. You know, I'm more than glad to hear who else has won MSI or Worlds in 2 roles. We have players that have role swapped before, but how many have actually done it where they were good in both? And it's definitely something to think about. I feel like Xiaohu is very underrated. I thought about that even last week when we're going into semifinals. I was like, really? And the thing is, he's a facilitator, so he plays as a secondary piece or a third tier piece, a guy that kind of is the glue to the team, but also makes a lot of things happen. Over his career, he's played 9 seasons. Right now, we don't know if he's going to finish first or second at Worlds. This is the first time he's gotten this far. He has went to semifinals before and went to quarterfinals 4 times in his career. Finished in quarterfinals 4 times, so I guess he's went 6 times now. MSI results, he's won it 3 times, finished in semifinals once. Otherwise, he has not went, so he's went to at least semifinals in all of the MSIs he's been to. And as far as domestic results, he's won a split regular season-wise 5 times, and then won playoffs 5 times. And obviously, you give more credit to the team that wins the playoffs, but I think it's important to also cite who has won the regular season in this one. So it's like, you gotta keep in mind too, like I said, one of these MSI wins is in top lane. Like, that is incredible. That is truly incredible. He went to top lane and made things happen. I think he's really underrated. I think he doesn't get enough respect in the GOAT conversation of the LPL in general, but in Chinese League of Legends. And, you know, is this Worlds finally going to be the one that puts him over the edge? If he finishes second, does it put him over the edge? I think you could argue it did anyways. He has done, like, he left RNG and he's the one still standing. And yes, the Shy is carrying him a bit, but the fact of the matter is he's here. He's here and he's done his job at a high level against the best of the best. Uzi, obviously, he's considered to be the GOAT, right? So 9 seasons, finished runner-up at Worlds twice, semifinals once, and went out in quarters twice. MSI, he's only won his only trip there. Domestic regular season, he's won 4 splits and then 2 playoffs. He also was the AD carry when China won Asian Games in 2018. Obviously, I think that's a Mickey Mouse tournament, but I'm going to include it on here. Ming, Uzi's support, has played 7 seasons. He's went out in semifinals once and quarters 3 times. Won MSI 3 times. That's obviously notable, right? Domestic, he's won 3 splits. And then playoffs, he's won 4. He was the main support for the Asian Games in 2018 alongside Uzi, which makes sense. Obviously, they were together with RNG. Then we have a couple EDG players that I think deserve some mention. So Mako has played 9 years. He's won Worlds once and been out in quarters 4 times. So you have to think, okay, he won. He's the only one on here to win, which is important. Obviously, the winning the Worlds thing is a big feather in your cap for the GOAT conversation. I think Mako is certainly in there. I thought he played excellent for the majority of this year. Some people argue that they don't think he did. I thought he was what made Leave so much better. In terms of MSI, he's only went one time and he won. In domestic, he's won 5 regular seasons and 4 playoffs. He also was on the 2018 Asian Games roster, but was not the starter. So Mako, I think, deserves to be in that conversation. He's won Worlds. That's a big deal. And he's put up some serious numbers in his career. And lastly, we have Clear Love, an OG Chinese player. We're talking all the way back to 2012. He played 8 seasons. He went out in quarters 5 times. Won MSI once on that 2015 team. Would win 6 regular seasons and 5 playoffs over his career in the jungle. So I'm going to include him on here. Obviously, that's a callback to older players and older fans of LPL. I do know that there are a couple people that really like Wei Zhao, an AD carry for Team Wii many years ago, 10 years ago or more, and some consider him to be the Chinese GOAT. So I think that, that's also something that we have to consider. Of course, many people that watch League of Legends now have no fucking idea who he is. And that's either here nor there, but you do have to consider that when you want to make a point in an argument in a conversation like this, and to make a claim, you need to have a good understanding of all the players in the conversation, right? Obviously, these players have been excellent. Ming looked great alongside Gala after Uzi left, so Ming is probably in that conversation alongside Mako for best support ever in the LPL. And then you're looking at, well, is one of them the GOAT? I mean, it's hard. It's hard to make the call, right? Mako, obviously, is an excellent player. And he deserves to be in this conversation. And like I said, Clear Love does also. But it's like Xiaohu did it in 2 roles. That is so huge. And if he doesn't win Worlds this weekend, I think he still should be in that conversation. But if he wins, it's hard to argue against him being the greatest Chinese player of all time. You know, some people say, yeah, well, he was carried and this or that, and these are all team accolades, and I agree 100%. They are team accolades, and I usually steer clear of them when I talk about ranking players. I prefer using stats. However, when you're talking about greatest players of all time, international results matter a lot. Domestic stats are nice, but international stats are significant. How did they perform against the best of the best versus how did they perform against Rare Atom or Vici Gaming or Rainbow Warriors or whatever crap teams we saw in the LPL over the years, right? You have to think about these sort of things. So I just thought this would be a fun video to do today. Getting it out a little later than I would like due to the internet. Tomorrow, there will be another video that's going to be kind of a preview for Worlds. And then we'll do the sneak peek, which will be just a short little preview. Obviously, I've been doing those all Worlds long. If you're new to the channel, that's something that's actually like the mainstay part of my channel is the roundup. So those will continue. But yeah, so thank you for watching. Comment down below with your thoughts on where Xiaohu ranks all time, not only in LPL, not only as Chinese players are concerned, but also across, LOL Esports. I think it's significant he won in 2 roles. I think it's huge that he's won 3 MSI tournaments. And he has a chance to win Worlds this weekend. This is not going to be about predicting what happens this weekend because it really, in terms of, I don't want to see predictions of how Weibo are going to do against T1. It doesn't matter. That's not what this is. Like, if you want to say, like, if they win, it's this. If they lose, it's this. Where he ranks, that's fine. But talking about this weekend in terms of how you think it's going to go is irrelevant to this video. And I'm going to say to you when you comment it that that's irrelevant and it's not related to the video. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. Become a YouTube supporter. and hope to see you again tomorrow.